Well, hello everyone, Dylan here. Happy Throwback Thursday, and the rotation leads us to an Elves review, and this one's on the Elvedale School of Dragons from 2016, of course. So in front of the manual, you have the Lego Elves logo and the nice border from on all the sets at the time, Elves, lego.com/elves, and picture of the set that there is in some of the lands of Elvedale, and recommended ages is, or rather, set number 41173. On the back, how to win on the online survey. And then advertisement for the free app game from the time. And then advertisement for some of the other sets, also from the time. And also some nice picture, or some nice artwork showing some of the storyline of this year. And then advertisement, and also some like group picture of all of the elves group and the dragons there, and then all the pieces that come with the set, of course, which is actually 2 pages, and the last building steps. So probably the only actual mini doll character in this set, of which is Titus, who also comes in the Dragon Sanctuary set, which also in this year, but this is a lot cheaper way to get him, since that set was around 50 and this one was 20. So obviously much cheaper way to get him. But also the torso printing, quite neat for how it is, with some armor kind of prints onto it, and then also the pants and boots kind of prints to there, kind of like we saw with Farron there, and some nice printing there as well, and some nice face printing as well, and with a blue mark on the sides, and of course holding this pink hourglass piece. And then as for this hair piece, just the same as Farron's also, but in blue instead of brown, so obviously kind of a nice unique look to that. And then not only back torso printing, of course, and that's about it with him. And also included is the mini dragon of Niku, who also came in the Pegasus Sleigh set, which also in this year, or rather the year prior to that. So and also this was a much cheaper way to get her as well, or him, her, I forget which one, but yeah. So if you want a better look at him, definitely check out my review for that set. First off, for the smallish side build, is this just kind of smallish one that is just of a chalkboard showing how the swing part of the set goes like, and also do have this pink flower with white globe piece on there, probably to be like the stick of chalk or whatever, and also have this a couple of tile and a jumper on there, mainly for like an eraser or whatever, and of course this tile piece, all resting on just a brick and a jumper, and all resting on a dark green wedge plate on there. But yeah, so of course quite simple for how it is, but yeah. And so now onto the set itself, which, as you can see, quite small, obviously, for the price point, and also quite nice and colorful and vibrant for how it is. Obviously, like most of the sets in this Elves theme, and also a nice consistent color scheme with a lot dark brown and lightish blue and so on. But yeah. So like, first of which do have this one large, or couple of these largest wedge plates, but in regular green to be like sort of grass then, and also ones in lime green as different shades of grass, of course. And then also have the mushrooms right there, like in some other sets, but without the sparkly texture to them. And then also this lavender slope on there for some weird reason. And then also around here is this just a bright, or azure tile piece to be sort of a riverway or water pathway to there. And then also a couple of rounded tiles to be sort of stepping stones there. And then, like in some of the other sets, you have some like a trans pink, what's it called? Or 2x1 and 1x1 bricks on there to be sort of like extra gems for that. And yeah. And as for this like first building kind of part to it, which does have a couple of these film made banners, which kind of quite nice for how they are. And well, they're the same print on both sides for that, and just opposite of each other. And then also do have these like, and are held on by the classic diamond pieces, but in trans clear, very nice. And also do have this like an art kind of under an archway design, which has the little quill and a coffee cup there, and then also this like golden fence piece, well, right there, very nice. And then also above is this little build, most likely to be a ringing bell, since it's supposed to be a school, but yeah. And then above is this kind of like a rooftop design, which is kind of similar to what we had with Ira's creative workshop the year prior to that, and where it's obviously made of a couple of curved slopes around it, and also these tooth-like pieces on there to be sort of like extra shingles or whatever. And also do have this rounded tile piece to be the symbols representing that's the School of Dragons. But yeah, and that is about it there. And now onto this one side of it, which has this random panel piece in trans blue, probably to be like extra water or something. And then also a telescope acting as a mini torch piece there. And then onto the inside of it is just a like dark pink tile to be sort of a standing part for Titus. And also you have this little sign piece acting as a little scroll showing a time and a dragon egg on it. And then shortly above it is a little seating kind of area with this little crossbow piece with a little tile with a cookie on it where you can launch off like so. And then also do have this little letter piece right on there, and then also this reverse tile with this little crate holding these other cookie pieces on them, and nicely done sticker on there. And yeah. And then onto this other side of it, which as you see does have this extra large azure curved slope on there, obviously to be sort of like a little waterway into there. And then also you have this little hollow space, most likely small enough to fit Miku into. And then also you have a couple of rounded plates or flat studs, probably to be like extra bedding or something. Yeah, and of course you can turn this little leaf piece to be sort of a hidden doorway like that if you wanted. And on this one side of it does have, and also this tree does have these couple inverted jagged slopes with tiles on them that are most likely just stepways that lead up to this top part of it, which has this little dark pink tile with the that's probably a carpet with dragon footprints on it. And then also on one side of it is the like leaf piece in pink with the dark purple or dark translucent purple little gem piece on there. And then also like around it is kind of a little standing platform where it's just a 4x4 plate but in lime green, and also that moss tile piece that also comes in most other sets, and also another rounded tile with an arrow on it, most likely to point upwards towards this little slide assembly. And also you have this and then there's the leaf piece but in darkish pink, also with the gems on there, which as we see in most other sets then. And then as for the main feature, which includes this little slide-like assembly, which has held on with this battle droid arm piece holding a little gem piece on there, and then also the little slide build which you can sit Miku onto, and also does kind of held together by lightsaber bars and ice cream cone pieces, and of course making a small enough slide for that. And of course this valve droid line holds it on there, and then it's all held on this what's it called, flex tube there. As I zoom out there, as I like lift on that, and then slides right down. So it's kind of an okay, alright feature for that. Well, unless if you can get it situated properly, but yeah, then it works out pretty well for how it is. So kind of an alright feature for how it is, but yeah. And that is about it with the set. Also, as I forgot to mention, that the desk here is actually removable, and it's resting on like 2 lime green jumpers. So also an alright feature for how that is, but yeah. So for my overall verdict, I think this is a quite good set for how it is. Like, obviously, well, this one, you know, for the 2 characters in it, which may be quite a bit, but at least nice to have. But of course, good way to get both of them, since they did come in like 2 larger sets. That's for that. But, and obviously, good cheap way to get them. And also, as for other mini dolls and such that could have been included, I think year 2 version of Ira could have been in here, and maybe 1 or 2 more of the baby dragons as well. Well, obviously, since in one of the like webisodes, Ira kind of visits the School of Dragons, but yeah. But maybe that would have been a little much, but yeah. And then this set as is, which, like, for the $20 that it was back in 2016, I say quite good for how it is. Like, obviously, good cheap way to get both of the characters, and also a nice playset build for how it is, and also in terms of seeing it as a parts pack, which also quite good for how it is, like plenty of dark and light azure and so on, and also as for us, but also, you know, some building techniques maybe kind of reminiscent to that of Ira's Creative Workshop and a couple other sets from the year prior, but obviously fitting to the Elves theme. And also this, which a kind of unique set where it's a small school-like build. Well, even though we've probably seen some of these in like Jago and some others, but yeah. But, and also of course, will you be having this for Elves, but yeah. Said, oh, well, no. And I'm sure, and of course this set was probably a key part of the Elves storyline, but yeah. And once again, all of which quite good for the $20 that it was at the time, but yeah. Even though for inflation might be quite a bit more, but as is, still quite good, but yeah. Oh, what else to say? Not much, but yeah. And now, for any of you who still have this set from back in the day, well, I hope you had some good memories of it. And for those of you who have it and are still looking to get this set, I'd say definitely pick it up. eBay, Bricklink, Ricari, Bricks and Minifigs, whatnot, whatever. And that's about it with this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.